welcome back to the Mr. Excel Netcast. I'm Bill Jellin. This is Don't Fear the Spreadsheet, episode number 0, new book. Well, hey, thanks to all the people who wrote in and said, hey, where have the podcasts been? Well, you know me, anytime I have to write a book, the podcasts go on a hiatus, and this book is a cool book. Now, if you're watching the podcast, if you're a podcast regular, this book is probably not for you, because most of the books I write are for people who use Excel all the time. They use Excel 20 hours a week, 40 hours a week, 60 hours a week. They're advanced Excel books, but this is a great story. We were having a meeting a couple of years ago, and Tyler Nash, who does copy editing for us, was sitting around this table listening to us talk about all this Excel stuff, and she finally just had enough. She interrupted and she says, you know, there's a lot of people who don't know Excel. All right, and there was dead silence. Everyone around the room was like, what? She's like, you're throwing all these terms around in it, and for someone who doesn't know Excel at all, this is just, you're way above our head. So at that point, we had an idea, and I said, all right, Tyler, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go open Excel. I want you to use Excel. And every time that you run into some stupid question, something that doesn't make sense, write it down. All right, and so that became the book. Tyler went through and came up with 100 questions. And they're things that just you and I and all the people who use Excel all the time take for granted, but is incredibly intimidating to someone who's completely new to Excel. Right, just open Excel for the first time and you do something in Excel, you know, their IntelliSense kind of kicks in and you're like, well, why did it do that? All right, and so this is good. Tyler wrote the questions, and then 3 MVPs, myself, Tom Urtis, and Kevin Jones, all took turns answering the questions. And then we threw in some of our own things. So here's what we have. We have a book, full color, printed right here in the United States. It's on uncoated paper. That means it's easy to take notes. Ended up with about 150 questions and answers. Questions from Tyler's point of view, and then answers from one of the MVPs. There's also 3 case studies there. I believe that there's 5 levels of Excel users, and the first 2 levels, level 1, 20% of the people, all they do in Excel is they open an attachment and click print. Level 2, all they do in Excel is maybe do some formatting, maybe do some column widths, and then email that attachment. So that's 40% of the people, 300 million people, who have never even entered a single formula in Excel. Isn't that amazing? All right, so this book is written for those 300 million people. If you have a job interview this afternoon where you have to know Excel, get this book and go to chapter 8. It'll be a crash course on the things that your soon-to-be manager wants you to know in Excel. They're at chapter 9, every single way to do 9 important tasks. That's for the manager who is the control freak and wants you to do things exactly like he does. Printed in the USA by Hess Printing, full color, 8.5 by 11, lots of screenshots throughout, and inexpensive, right? This is a beginner book. We're competing with Excel for Dummies and others, so $14.95 for 200 full color pages. Check it out. We'll be doing some new podcasts here that support Don't Fear the Spreadsheet, so you're going to see some of these. They're going to be kind of easier topics, but don't be surprised. I always say the best swordsman in the world should not fear the second best swordsman. The best swordsman in the world should fear the person who has never handled a sword before, because we get all these bizarre questions, things that, again, you and I take for granted, but are going to be off the wall. You might just learn something. I know I did. Oh, hey, thanks for stopping by. Watch for Don't Fear the Spreadsheet sprinkled in throughout the coming weeks through some of those topics. This is the book that makes Excel for Dummies look like it was written for rocket scientists.